Yeah, so what do I get up to out here in the middle of nowhere in lockdown? Well, it's pretty much the same as any old time, really. But I've just had a recent run-in with foxes around here because I keep a lot of chooks. This is supposed to be a fox-proof perimeter, but it does need a bit of maintenance from time to time. And now I had this fox getting in the middle of the night because the dogs alerted me. Well, I caught this fox running around. I knew he was getting in the middle of the night. The chooks are locked up, but he did get away with some of them. Anyway, I narrowed it down to this spot behind me. It was the latest freeway in. And see this big rose bush behind me? It's called a bonica. It's a beautiful rose. It's a big rambling climbing thing, and I grew it from a cutting, like the Paul Kelly line, you know. Well, he didn't make the line up, but he made it. He did rattle on about it. From little things, big things grow. And this monster rose vine took off. And the fox was climbing up trunks, like trunks this big, you know, with massive prickles. And I followed his trail up the wall there, and his fur was stuck to thorns all the way up. Sherlock Holmes. Right up over the top there. And so I had to hack away, and it was a slow job, it was, to hack all these rose thorns off. And they're still lying around here. They've got to make it to the bonfire heap yet. Yeah, so a friend of mine lent me a wildlife camera, and that was pretty special because I set it up that evening after I'd stopped his entry. Set it up on that post over there. I had a look the next morning and I got him. Here he comes in. You'll see the photos of him. Here he comes in here and he sniffs the ground. He goes, "Hello, who's been here? What's all these thorns on the ground?" And then he looks up in the air and he goes, "Hang on a minute, where's my ladder gone?" Like Sleeping Beauty's wall that he was so expert in scaling, or she. So the fox had its nose out of joint, all right. Anyway, it's been good night's sleeping since, because the dogs seem to hear or know when the fox is creeping around in that yard in there. Rosie, come out of there. You'll get thorns in your feet. It's all right for the fox, not for you. So there were whopping big branches down in there. So, and up he went, and they came right over this side. So I've exposed all of this corrugated iron, and there's the chicken wire there, and that little spot right here was loose. Footholds in here. This little spot here was loose, and he was getting his foot in there. And then he was able to climb up here, and that wire had been brought down by the vines, and he was scaled over the top and down here. You can see his claw marks on top of these palings here. That's how he got in. How you going, Suze? Getting out was no problem because he just takes a run up downhill and jumps the bottom fence and scrambles over the wire. You can see the size of the thorns. They're really quite horrendous. So I was pretty pleased to discover that. Horrible spiky thing. Would you climb over that? I wouldn't. Susie watches on, don't you, Suze? Well, I have a whole mob of chooks over that side of the fence. That's my big orchard chook enclosure with my house plonked in the middle. This is supposed to be a fox-proof perimeter. Sometimes I have to keep the peace out here as well, what with fighting roosters and pack raping, etc. All part of the gig. That's Mrs. Pom-Pom. I actually rescued her from a fox one night. He was trying to drag her out another hole and she got stuck. I heard her scream. He's quite a handsome golden boy. He thinks he's pretty smart. Well, he's sort of on top at the moment. He's a fairly popular boy. He doesn't get beaten up. He's more inclined to do a bit of beating up. This is the previous area that the fox was getting in. He was making holes along here and in there. Once I've stopped him getting in there, he had an evil little hole there. You can see the mess that he made along this board here. All the way along here he's been trying to chew through and destroy this chicken wire. If you have a nice close look, there he is. See, he's been chewing away on that and scratching, and I've had to put extra nails at staples in, as you can see. So I spread some chili paste along the top of this board one evening, and he did get so far as to put one big tooth mark in it, and the rest just washed off over a couple of days. Well, there's been a few exciting developments on the fox front overnight. I'm feeling pretty pleased. I set the wildlife camera up here last night because I strongly suspected the fox was using this tree behind me to get up onto the chook shed roof and jump down the other side. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. So I set up a few obstacles in the tree because I didn't really want him or her getting in last night. So it looks a bit like a junk heap up the top of the tree, but my gosh, it did the job. I set the camera up at about 7:30 last night, and about 7 hours later he made his first appearance. Bang, here he comes. Walks straight up to the trunk, gets part way up the trunk, he thinks, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Oh, he thinks, I wonder if this could be a trap. He thinks, nah, this is a bit too spooky for me. I think I better get out of here while the going's good. Anyway, an hour later, boom, here he comes, back again. Oh man, this is too much, I've got to get in there. Chicken meat. So here he comes, he's back at the trunk, has a good old circle. He's just not too damn sure what's going on around here, but he really wants to get in there. Do a bit of thinking. Bit of a circle round and round. Oh, nah. Oh, don't. Nah. I think I better leave. I don't think it's very safe around here. Bye. Yeah, so there we go. Now you see it, now you don't, because this tree will be gone. This is McCarley here, and he's been on the fox hunt trail with me. Now, what do you think about our fox? He's a bit crafty, is he?
He's definitely crafty. He's hard to catch, and hard to bloody stop getting in, actually. Been finding any way he possibly can.
And every time we think we've outdone him, he finds somewhere new.
Yeah. Well, we think we found the spot this time.
Well, the tree's coming down today, isn't it? And that's his last avenue, we hope.
That's it. That's the last spot. Well, we hope, anyway.